Thanks everyone for joining us today. My name is Dan Sykes and I'm the marketing manager at Milner Browne. Today we have Rosi Coronado. She's the channel enabler at Boyum IT as our guest, and she'll be presenting on different SAP business add-ons that Boyum has to offer, including the B1 usability package, CRM for Outlook, and print and delivery. Now I will pass it on to you, Rosi.
Thank you so much, Dan. Good morning, everybody. As Dan said, my name is Rosi Coronado, and I'm with the Boyum team. I'm based out of the US, but I always love to work with the European countries. And we're going to start out today with the B1 usability package. Just a little bit of background for me. I used to implement SAP Business One a long time. I used to work with end users, and the usability package is something I think every user who has SAP Business One should have it. It is really a tool where you can customize your SAP Business One the way you want it and have the best experience with it. Okay, so with the usability package, you do not have to be a developer. You can customize the screens. You can automate your processes the way you want it in a very simple way. So this is the SAP Business One you guys know if you do not have the usability package right now, and this is what it can look like with the B1 usability package. You see that the screens is redesigned, and the beauty is you can do it for certain users and maybe do a different design for other users or user group, whatever works best for you. We are all about customizing and adding business logic, and this is something I'm going to give you examples. I will go into the system and I will show you, and those are a lot of examples I was asked when I used to implement SAP Business One almost by every customer. So just imagine what it can do for you if you can automate tasks, and you will save time and money and have your system work for you the way you want it. We have more than 7,000 customers. We are in more than 100 countries. We just reached that a couple months ago, the 100 country mark, and we have more than 150,000 users. Those are all our products. What you see here, we're going to look at B1 usability package today. We're also going to see print and delivery, which is a module with the usability package. And another one we're going to cover today is CRM for Outlook. Okay, we have all the other products. If there's any interest, of course, please let them know, and we can do another session or a one-to-one session. It's up to you what you prefer. So what is the B1 usability package? Create new navigation, redesign the screen as you saw already on the print screen. It comes with dashboard, predefined dashboards. They are absolutely beautiful. People were hunting us, when you're going to come out with dashboards. It came out a couple of years ago, and we're going to add more. I think in a couple of releases we add more dashboards. Make sure the data is correct in the system. You can set up mandatory fields. You can validate the data. Tell the system what you want in that field and much more. So what happens usually when you need customizations? You need a developer. You scope it out, what you need. Then this coding starts, and then you test it out. And the testing, between testing and coding, it takes a lot of time and money because you go back and forth. You find mistakes. And the beauty is with the Boyum products, any of our products, usability package, CRM for Outlook, we work with SAP very close. Our development works with SAP, and if you ever do an upgrade to a new version, like a lot of people come over from 9.2 to 9.3, you never have to worry about it with our products because we work with SAP. It's tested. It will upgrade perfectly fine. If you do coding, if you do customization manually, you never know if it's going to work with the next upgrade. So keep that in mind. With the Boyum products, you don't have to worry about it. So what can be done in 5 minutes? if I go in SAP Business One, you all see my screen. And let's put in a sales order, for example. I'm going to put in a sales order. And hopefully, and you will see my screen already redesigned, and I will go over those buttons and all that stuff in a minute. And I'm going to put in a couple items. And what I'm going to do, you see already alerts. For example, this customer has no available credit. That's an alert I have set up. What it does, it looks at the customer credit limit and it says, hey, they have no more available credit. So for the sales employee, call this customer, collect some money. And if I go back to the business partner, just so since we are in that screen, if I go back here, and hopefully the webinar doesn't slow me down on the screen, you see that the account balance is red because he's over the credit limit, and I have this going hand in hand with the label that comes up on a sales order saying no available credit. You see Earthshaker is green because they are within the credit limit. And if I would pull up Earthshaker here, this wouldn't come up, no available credit. This is a beautiful label to put on for the sales employees so they know, hey, you're putting in another sales order, but they don't have any credit anymore. But I wanted to show you this one. So I'm going to put, I really want to get this sales done. And I'm going to put, oops, I can't do that. I'm going to put in sales order and going to click add. And you see, it tells me the next lines have more than 10% discount. And it gives me the line number, the item code, and in the description. So it's up to you what you would like to show. You just can show the line number. So you can design kind of what the message looks like. And in my case, I'm saying, do you want to continue? Yes or no? Okay. So, but what you can do also, you can block the user, meaning you block him unless they go back and change the discount to 10% or below. So what else can you do with B1 Up? Your screen design, you already saw it. You can move fields, hide fields, set background colors. You can set golden arrows. Let me show you a couple things. I'm going to go back here and I'm opening up Business Partner Master Data. And I'm going to pull one up. What you see here, it's a pop-up. I have default data. You see my group changes to a different group. You can set up default data within the business partner and item master, meaning, okay, every time I put in a customer, I always wanted to default to a different group because you know it defaults to the first one, but I want to default it to a different group. So you can set it up so it defaults to that group. Okay? But actually I didn't want to do that. I was in the find mode. Let me put up another one. There we go, Protomix. So you see I have my field redesigned. Very simple to do, same background colors, put some colors on your screen. I know for a fact that all my pink, I just came from a training, I did a training session with customers. All my mandatory fields have a different colors, they are pink. So how do you set a mandatory field? All you have to do is right click, and let me, no. Hold on one second. I must have made a change in the training. I apologize. You right click and you just set this, make this field mandatory. I'm gonna right click, it's gonna do it for me. You see the usability package working. If I tab off, you will see this field will be mandatory. Okay, it's set to mandatory and you see it is pink. And you can change the color. You can always go in here and say edit mandatory fields. And you see right here, you can set it for certain users mandatory. So let's say I'm the one who never fills in that field, but everybody else does. Just set it mandatory for me. So you can include users, exclude users. You can select the color. You can select the background color or the text color. And you see all I really did is just with a right click and set it to mandatory. You also can set an empty value. For example, I have the federal tax ID. You can put in there, okay, if you put 9999, that's an empty value. That doesn't count. So just imagine through the system, there's fields you might want to set mandatory and set empty values. And you see my mandatory fields are blue now. To move or hide an item, you just right click and you just say hide this item. And it's going to be gone. You see it's going to go away. It's done. We don't need those because you never used it, for example. If you want to move an item, you can just right click on an item and you just say move it. And what's really nice, it's going to ask you want to move it above a field, below a field, to the left, to the right, and you can decide where you want to move it. And once you click on your option, then it tells you, okay, click on the label. If you move it below, you got to click on a label. I'm going to click OK, and I'm just going to stick it right here under Alice's name. And it's going to move it right here. It's done. Okay? If you want to set an item read-only, for you see right here, technician is read-only because it's grayed out. You just right-click and you say, okay, I want to set this to read-only, make this item read-only. And if I have, and you can do it for certain users, okay? Most of the stuff you can do for certain users, and this makes totally sense. There's maybe you're in the accounting department and there's certain fields like federal tax ID would be one. Nobody should touch it, or certain users shouldn't touch it. Then you can just say for certain users. So when you do items read only, it's very busy, this screen, because it gives you all the fields from the business partner master data. But I'm going to show you something really cool. If you do view system information, with the B1 usability package, you get an extra menu, copy system information. And this becomes very handy. If I have people online, they do a lot of queries, this is really cool because you can copy those into your queries too. So I know this is item 47. So all I have to do is go down here and look for item 47. Here it is, fax number. And I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to make it read-only in OK mode. In add mode, maybe it doesn't make sense unless you are not allowed to put anything in there, or in find mode, it doesn't make sense. Okay? But you have the options, and then you say, okay, I'm going to make it read-only only for certain users, because those are the ones I don't want them to touch this field. Okay? I'm going to click update, and you will see they're going to be grayed out. I open it twice, I apologize. I'm a happy clicker today. And you see the fax number is grayed out. If you want to move, for example, and I'm doing everything with a right click. And I did block the sidebar. Let me do something. You see, I couldn't open the sidebar because I blocked it and I didn't unblock it. You have the options to block the sidebar. So once you move user-defined fields into the main screen, then you block the sidebar so user won't see it. I'm going to unblock it, right? And since I'm in here, everything I moved right now, remember I'd set this to hide. You see they're right here. Hide these items, and then you see the password I moved, and just by right-clicking and telling it where it goes, this is called an item placement tool. That's where the system knows exactly what to do. Because you click there, you don't even have to do anything anymore. And you see my name on the business partner is light blue. This is what I did. I put it in here and just put a back color. That's all I did. And you can do, for example, I'm doing this customization now for certain users. Okay? And maybe you do another customization on the business partner screen for different users or user groups, because maybe the accounting department should see fields and the sales department doesn't need to see those fields on the business partner. So you have the flexibility to do several screen design. Okay, so here on top you see the SAP fields, and on the bottom what you would see is if you have user-defined fields, you moved from the sidebar to the main screen. And let's try it now, since I changed it. Let's see if they come up now. I probably have to go out and go back in. Let me pull it back up. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna find a business partner. This is my default data. It's checking out the default data. And let me go here. And let me go back to Protomex. They have more data anyways. And view system, and there we go. Now I can see them. I unlocked them, but this is good to know. If you want to lock your sidebar, you can do that. So I'm going to grab this user-defined field right here. And all I do is right-click and move it to the main menu. That's all I do. And you see I cannot put it to the left. That's not supported with UDFs. But let me just put it below again. And then I'm going to just stick it in here. Let me stick it under the password. There we go. Here it is. And then I'm going to grab another one. Remember how you can do drop-downs, UDFs with SAP Business One. And I'm going to move it to the main menu because I want you to see. I'm going to click below. I'm going to stick it right there too. I want to see the flexibility you have. A lot of people do a tab and then they put in all the user-defined fields, and I'll show you that. So you have those user-defined fields, and this one has to do with items for whatever reason. And this one is like a yes and no. But you're like, oh, I really want to have a check mark on this one. And on this one, I want to have a golden arrow to drill back because it has to do with items. And you can do that. So I'm going back where I moved those items. I'm going to go to Usability package, and that's called the item placement tool. And if you see, this is what I had opened earlier. I unblocked the sidebar, okay? And you see my user-defined fields are down here on the bottom. So this is my item user-defined fields. I moved over to the main screen. And all I'm going to do right here is, okay, I want to create a golden era. And you see all those options you have. Of course, you can do custom golden eras. And I'm going to keep it simple. And I said, I just want to go back to the item. I want it to go back to the item master data. And you see right here, I have hide from list. That was a yes and no drop down, a combo box. You don't want the combo box. You want a checkbox. I just want you to see the flexibility. I'm going to keep it for all users, but you can, of course, say for certain users, this whole design as I mentioned before. I'm going to click Update. And now you will see, once I go in here, it will change. And mine is a little bit slow. I think it's because I have the meeting running. I'm going to go out. In this case, I do have to go out and go back in just to create the golden era and to do the update on the different fields. And once I pull it back up and I pull up the business partner, and let me go right here, pull one up, and I pull up the second one. Okay. And you see right here, there it created the golden error because I have data in there. If there's no data, of course, there's no golden error. And if I click there, it's going to take me back to the business part, to the item master. And you see right here, I checked this for a checkbox. And you can put it maybe up here. You can move it, of course, from the screen, or it's very common. I see this checkbox, on a sales order. You have this up here on a sales order and it says hide from list, urgent order. Then a user can, hey, this is an urgent order. Okay. So one more thing I want to show you with the right click. So you can move everything I did with the right click. If I go right here and I go to create new tab, you want to do a SQL tab or you want to do a custom tab. So I'm going to do a custom tab. Custom tab is very common because what you do is you give it a title, and then you can put all your user-defined fields in there. And of course, you can move also fields from the general tab to your custom tab. You can design it for what you need. And I've heard this, sales managers, they're like, Rosie, business partner screen has a lot of tabs. I just want one tab with all my fields in there, and you can do that. So I'm just going to put a couple in there, and I'm going to click OK. And it's going to create the tab. I have to go out and go back in. There we go. I'm going to go out and go back in just for you to see it, and you will see the new tab test is there. And as I said, then you can go and put in there what you need. If you have quality control and you're using SAP for production and manufacturing, I've seen that a lot, then you just put all your quality control fields in there depending on your industry, what you have. Okay, if I go right here, and you see right here is the test tab. And if I stretch it so you can see it better, I'm on a very small screen, here it is. And then you here, those are the two user-defined fields I put in there. And then you can say, okay, I really want this field, the BP project over there, and you right-click and just drop it on this tab. You can do that. You can move the fields from tab to tab. That's how simple it is to create a tab. You can also do a SQL tab. This is not a good, this one doesn't have any data. Let me go to Protomex. What that means is you can do a SQL report and you can put it in a tab. This gives me all the credit memos and all the invoices for this customer, for example. And you have the golden errors you can drill back. And if I, of course, go to a different business partner, it's going to be different data, as you see, because now it's going to look at Maxitech. So you can do SQL tab or custom tabs. That's how simple it is. Okay. So screen design, very simple, user specific. Then you have the easy access. Easy access is what we all already saw. You can click buttons. Let's stay in this screen. You can create buttons. So you have it right here. You have all the data right here. For example, you can say, okay, I'm going to have a button so it takes me over to the opportunity window. I want to do a new opportunity and I'm on the business partner and it fills in the business partner information. Or maybe you want to have, okay, what are the top 10 items for this customer? And all this is a SQL query. The top last items, basically what I have sold. You see, it's almost the same I use. Maybe I want to go out to the website and want to see and Google this customer. So I'm going to move it over from the other screen. So what this does, it goes out to Google and it Googles Maxitech, the name. Okay, very handy for sales employee. This is the sales report, exactly what I have in the tab. What the beauty is you can put the sales report in a tab, you can put it as a button, or you can create your own right-click menu. You can create your own right-click menu and put it in here. I don't have it here. You can create a menu and put it as a right-click also. I thought I had it already in there. Let me see. No, I must have deleted it. I'll put it in there for you. Okay. Then you can have a button where you can do several things. From here I can do an activity, an order, I can do an invoice. So you can just open it up and I'm going to open up sales order. And you stay on this screen. Okay. So you don't have to go out and go to the menu. Okay. Aging. So how do you create a button? You just right click. And you go right here and you just say edit, in my case edit, you would say edit function button, add function button, you go in here. Again, you can do buttons for certain users and then you create different buttons for other users. And let's just add one, just keep it very simple. And you have all those predefined windows you can do. Okay, so let's do, we're gonna do an, have so many already. That's price report, external launcher, let's see what we can do. Posting periods, doesn't make sense, but just posting periods. This is how you create it. And you see, you can attach a SQL query as you have seen. You can attach a SQL report if you want. You can attach a dashboard, and I'll show you. I'm going to click update. I'm going to click OK. I do have to go out and go back in, and you see my button is there. It's created. Just by, you have to go out on this one and go back in for it to create it and to make it show up. Oops. My machine is doing an update, I hear it. And if I pull this up, and it's really not business partner related, but there's posting periods, it would just take me there. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but so you know how simple it is to do a button. And those are all predefined, but then you can do your own reports and you can do dashboards. So if I click on this dashboard, it's going to open up and you decide which dashboard. It's right here. And you see, this is my sales dashboard. You can open it up from a window, from a button, and I can actually move it outside SAP. I just moved it over to my other screen. Okay. So this is one of the dashboards you get with the B1 usability package, and I will talk about it a little bit more. So those are buttons, do shortcuts. And if you don't like the buttons, what you can do, you can right-click B1 usability package and you can edit a right-click menu. You can do that instead of a button. So you can add your reports here if you would like, or you say, okay, I want to, there's a main menu. Let me just rename this and I call it invoice just to keep it simple. And I'm going to say, okay, I want to do a right click and I want to go straight to an invoice. I'm going to click update and okay. And now if I right click, I have my menu here. So some people are right clickers. Here it is, and it would open up the invoice. Okay, so this is what you can do. Just right clicking, create buttons. And as you see, you don't need development for that. This is something you can do. Of course, you should have a designated person in the company to do. Everything is done with a right click. If I go back to my slides, so right-click menu creator and so on, so you can add a dashboard, a crystal report, a SQL report, external launcher. When I went outside to Google, that's called an external launcher. Then you can do automation, meaning have the system do things for you. Okay, so you can build something. I gotta go a little bit faster. Let the system do it for you. For example, I'm just going to go to an AP invoice really quick. And I'm going to find one. I don't have so many validations running like on the other ones. There we go. So for example, this is an open invoice. And you know, sometimes to teach somebody to do outgoing payments and all that stuff, sometimes it's very cumbersome because in SAP you have to click a lot of times to do an outgoing payment. So there we go. I have this outgoing payment button right here. So a user can just go in here. It's easier, do an outgoing payment. It opens up the outgoing payment. It looks for the invoice number. It checks it and it does the outgoing payment for me. In my case, I have it set to transfer, bank transfer, and it's done. Okay. So you can do an outgoing payment and it does it for you and it adds it for you. Okay, and you see on the bottom, I do have development mode on still from the training. That's why it takes a little bit longer. And you see it's creating an email. This is our next subject. We're going to do print and delivery. On top of it, I have it said create an email and send it out. Send out the outgoing payment to the customer. So you can automate everything. So it created it for you and it did the email and it won't take as long with you because I have development mode on, but I'm not going to get into this. I don't want to confuse you. Okay, so this is when we said do automation, create it a macro. This is a macro and tell the system what to do. As you saw, every time I went into the business partner, it switched the group because I have default data set up. When I click go into add mode, I want you to default to this group, to these properties, to this credit limit, and so on. That's when we talk about automation. And if I go to sales order, Now, really quick, I'm going to show you a couple things in here. Very common, and I'm not sure if it's if it applies to your organization, is a lot of people have a shipping warehouse. So they put in a sales order, and what's going to happen is they want to ship out from. They have to transfer the inventory maybe to a shipping warehouse. So let's say I'm going to put this here. Let me do these 3 items I know I have in stock. Just to keep moving, I have those items, you know, they add the sales order, or they can just say transfer request. So they click in here, and what the system does, it does the transfer request for me. So I don't have to do it. It does it for me, and then it's going to click add, and then you have to transfer request, and you save going here to inventory and do it all manually. Okay? It didn't finish it up because I did a change. So the transfer request, it does it for you. And here you have a lot of stuff you can do. This is like customer information. This is just statistic about the customer. Shipping. For example, if I click shipping, it's going to add shipping to my sales order. And you see it's $75. So if I am going to delete this row and I'm going to change it to different quantity, I have it based on the quantity. Okay, so now you see it gives them a 50% discount. So you put a logic in the back and say, okay, if they order between 10 and 20 items, they get a 50% discount. If I'm going to delete this row again, and I'm going to say they're going to order over 20, and I click shipping, you see they get 100% discount. So you can automate all this stuff. Put a logic in there and it will do it for you. If you see the select top items, you can create a report for your employees so they don't have to pull up the item master all the time, and they click it here. This is a crystal report done with the B1 usability package, and then select it from here and they can put it into the system. Okay? So automate your tasks and create the buttons, and you don't have to go out from the system. For example, you have a deal of the month. Just click on it. This is my deal of the month. I'm going to run it this week, this month, and you just click on it and it fills it into your sales order. Or if this is something every customer usually buys, so the people, your employees don't have to look it up, just click it and it adds it to your sales order. And you see right here, line search. You can say, okay, did I put this item into the sales order? So you really can go in there and look for an item. If you have 100 lines, it's a very nice tool to do the line search. Okay. Input, we have an input and export tool. So you HTML, if you know HTML, you can import and export data into the system, and then alerts and validation. I think you saw enough. You know, it tells you, set up a message to the user, hey, the data is not correct, hey, you forgot to put this in, and so on. Okay, put in your alerts and validation, put colors in there so it makes it easier for the user. And then we have something called the toolbox that does 40 plus more features. One of the most favorite features is this one. For example, if you put in a document, if you do not have the usability package, and I got this with every customer. First of all, you guys see already I have the flag here activated, so you can say I want to know which country they are from. But if you put in a document, a lot of times what I got, this, the screen goes blank. You want to have it stay on the screen. So what it does with the toolbox, it's just a check mark. And you say, okay, when I put in a document, the AP invoice, I want it to stay on the screen, and it will come back for you. So you don't have to pull it up. That's one of the favorites. Okay, so it pull it back up. You don't have to go up here and pull it back up. Another new feature is on the business partner data. You can create your own help. You see all those help question marks right here. As I said, I just came from training. I didn't clear it all the way, the database. You can say, you can create your own help and say, put in telephone number, and you can type in there what you want, or you can, for more information, you can put a link in there for the users. Very handy when you have user-defined fields. People ask me all the time, what am I supposed to put in there? Do your own help. So with the toolbox, there is several tabs. Best thing is to check all those tools with the help F1. What does it do? And then we have the master data manager. What this is, where you can do mass updates. You as the business partner, if I give you one example, let's say one sales employee leaves and they have 200 customers. It was a great sales employee, but he left. So you really want to go in here and update all those business partners to the new sales employee. You have all those options to update data. Or if you have a new price list and you have 2,000 customers, they need this new price list. Instead of using DDW, that's an import-export tool with SAP, you can go in here and do it as a mass update. So I'm going back here. Let's say I'm going to get all my customers, all the customers from the sales manager, and I'm going to replace him with Sophie. So Sophie gets all those customers. He doesn't have any. Does Bill have any? I've done it so much, so I don't know sometimes which one is still good. So just to get an idea, so you can say, okay, all those customers, I check them and I'm going to move them over to Sophie. So this is when we talk about mass updates. And I always say, just keep in mind, if you can update it manually in SAP, you most likely can do it with the master data manager. And then we have our famous dashboards. If I go in here, I gotta go a little bit faster so we run over. There's just so much to show. You can have your own, you can create your own dashboards. Now we have a flow chart that's new, or you use ours, of course, the ones we send with the system. We have a 7 or 8, I'm not sure about. This is one that comes with it. It comes with the usability package and you just need to activate them and go in here. Okay? They're beautiful, and then of course you can create your own dashboards. This was just a training dashboard. We have new flow charts now, meaning, okay, select a different process flow. There's like purchasing, sales process, and it comes in here. And for example, you can just click on here and open up the document from here. And the one new thing, it just came out last week or last month, you see also message and alerts. Instead of you having it up here on the envelope, you can have your message and alerts on the dashboard. Okay? So that's the usability package. Go and customize your system the way you want it. And then we have print and delivery. Print and delivery, you do need the usability package to activate this one and get a license for it. It's a Crystal Report integration. What it is, you can do multiple things. You can print, preview, like what you're used to it, but what the beauty is, you can do multiple tasks. For example, if I send out an email to a first-time customer, I want to send a different email. I don't want to send my email I have set up for every other customer, and I want to do additional attachments. I also want to create an activity because I want to follow up. It's a new customer, gotta pamper them. And then you can schedule your tasks. For example, every day by 5 p.m. all my invoices are going out. Schedule it. You don't even have to touch the system. If you have an e-commerce, I see that a lot. They bring in invoices from their website constantly. Then you can say, okay, I'm going to kick off my scheduler every hour. I wanted to grab the new invoices and send it to the customers. This is really for you. You design your own email system, what you want. This is one of the favorites. Every customer likes it, and I'm sure you do. This gives you, and actually I have it already in my email. This gives you a list of whatever your logic is, of all the open invoices or past due invoices or invoices they are almost due. It gives you a grid on your email, and it attaches one PDF. It attaches one PDF, which I'm going to show it to you. It attaches one PDF which includes all those invoices. And this is a beauty because that way you don't get all those phone calls. Oh, I didn't pay those invoices. Oh, I got out from my Outlook. I'm sorry. Oh, there it is. That way you don't have to say, this. Usually your customer calls you, I don't have a copy of this invoice. So if you send this one, you see the email body, it lists all the invoices. And then when you open up the PDF, you're going to have one PDF which has all those invoices attached. Just imagine the phone calls you're going to save. For some reason my whole system is slow. It opened up on the other screen. I'm going to pull it over for you. There we go. Oops. There we go. This is one PDF with those invoices listed. I mean, that's just a beauty. I tell every customer, you schedule this every month on the 25th. Make sure you collect money, but before the end of the month. And you see, since we are in here, you see this crystal layout, because print and delivery only works with crystal. We do provide reports. So you can use our reports, just change it to your logo, or you use your own crystal reports. Okay, so what else does print and delivery do? I'm going to go in here really quick, since I am running out of time as usual. There's just so much to show. For example, I have a logic in print and delivery. I'm not going to send you this, show you the setup, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to send a sales quotation. I'm going to open up a sales quotation. I set up a logic. If it's a first-time customer, I'm sending a different email, but if it's a customer that has more than one quote already, I'm sending a regular email. So if I look, Andreas has one, and I think there's one called Boyum. So see, this one has only one quote. So my logic, it's a if and else statement. If the customer, it is the first quote I'm sending to the customer, I'm going to click my email button. So you see on the bottom, it's working with our print and delivery. I'm doing multiple things. I know I have it set up. I'm going to create an activity. I'm going to create an internal message. I'm going to try to print it, and I'm going to email it. I'm doing 4 things. That's when we say you can do multiple things with print and delivery. See, it's trying to print. I'm not going to print it. If I go to my email now, you're going to see it's going to come in here. I don't know if it's already here. Yeah, must be here. Oh, this is outgoing payment. That's the one we did earlier. Here it is. We want to welcome you as a partner. This is my first time customer email. So it's a totally different email. And you see, I have attached the sales quote, and I'm attaching 2 more things because I told print and delivery, if it's a first-time customer, I want you to attach this and that. You have the flexibility. Okay? But if it's an existing customer, I'm sending a regular email. You see, I'm sending myself an internal message where I can go and drill back. New quote was sent out. And if I go here, I'm going to have an activity set up in 3 days. It's just, that's what my setup. That was my configuration. And sure enough, it's correct. It's on June 1st. I'm supposed to follow up, and it links my quote, and I attach my quote. Okay? And on the contents, I said, please follow up, attach quote. So you can assign who should follow up. Okay? So I did 4 things when I'm sending this email. So I'm going to send a quote to a different customer where I know I have more than one, which is microchip. I know I do. I'm going to email this out to this customer. And you see, it's a totally different email. I don't have to change anything because I have an if statement. The print and delivery knows what to send. So if I send it to this customer, it's coming in. I'm waiting. It's going to be a regular email, just like I will send to any other customer. Let me see if it went through. Oh, I have a problem. Oh, I changed something. Let me see. I did training. So it would just, let me actually change, let me do a sales order. It will send, let me see. I did training and I did some changes while I trained, and I didn't go back in and set it back. Let's see if it throws me an error. Yeah, because I did a setting different, but it would send this. This is what it would send to the existing customer, because this was part of my training last week. So let me see if this one works on the sales order. I just want you to say the other email, because I'm using one email for all my documents, only for the sales order. Yeah, I changed something. Oh, I did a preview. That's what it is. What I did actually does work for the quote. What I did on the training purposes, I switched it to preview the email before I send it, and that's why I get this box, and I usually don't have this box. So now if I do this, sorry about that. I usually don't have it set like this, but that was part of the training, and now I send it. It's previewing it, and then I can send it. So you have the flexibility to to preview the email, and now you have them right here. So this is the sales quotation. You see, no additional attachments, only the sales quote, and attached is your sales quotation. And this is HTML body. You can do HTML body, or you do plain text. You see this. So if you put a logic in the back, you can do that. It does it for you. Another one, you have account balance, so you get reports with it, and for example, we have our own statement. This is the account balance. You can just go in here. This is like and say, okay, I want to send to my customers their account balance. And what this basically does, it's your statement, and this send it out by the end of the month, and it's a beautiful report. I really, really like this report. It comes with print and delivery and sends him all the open items, like you would send the customer a statement. Okay. I wanted to show you the report. It's still thinking. So that's the account balance. It's creating the emails right now. My machine is having a hard time. I hear noises. It's like it's doing an update every time I do something. So here are my account balances, and this one is really pretty. If it comes with print and delivery, and what it does, it's a beautiful report, and it shows the customer what's due, and it shows what's overdue in red and what's not due in green. And of course, I just got out of the wrong screen. Okay, give me 1 second. So, and then instead of you doing it manually, what you can do, you can schedule all this. Why do it manually? And this is used very heavily. So if you go to the B1 usability package, module configuration, and you go to print and delivery, you have scheduler right here. And you say, okay, I want to do you have all those. And for example, the account balance we just did. You say, I want to do the account balance. I want to use the account balance report configuration. I want to email it. And then you tell it, I want to send it out at maybe 8 o'clock monthly and on the 25th of each month. And you send it out, and you set it up like this. You make sure you have the server component, because the server component is the one who does the who kicks it off. Okay, there's my invoice again, and I'm gonna go in here. They should be here now, and then we go to CRM for Outlook anyway. My whole system is low. Something wrong, and there we go, account balance. And I did show you, let me try perimeter technology. If they have a little bit more, I really wanted to see you their report, because I just think it's very pretty. Yeah, they have one error invoice, it's overdue, because, oh, there we go. You see all those are overdue, all those documents are overdue, and if they would be not due yet, it would show in green. That's what I wanted to show you. So that's print and delivery. Automate your emailing. Automate your emailing. Schedule it. Don't do it manually. You can do it manually as a mass delivery. We have mass delivery in here. For example, if I go in here, you have menus here with print and delivery, and you do mass delivery. And you can say, it's basically what if you schedule it, but you say, okay, I'm going to grab all my invoices for today's posting date, and then you preview it, and then you say, okay, I'm going to send it out. You decide which one you want to send out. And you see it starts with 71, because the system knows, print and delivery knows which one were sent already. And then you just go down and say, okay, and send it as a mass delivery. Okay, you can also set it up. Every time I add a sales order, I want the email to be triggered. And in my case, they go into a draft folder. You can say, okay, I want to put it in a draft folder, but you can send it out directly. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you. Automate your emailing. Use the scheduler. It's used very heavily with all the customers I know. Okay, so one more thing, and I don't have much time. CRM for Outlook. It's an SAP Business One integration. You do not need to have the usability package. It would be good to have it because you can have custom reports from the usability package in Outlook. And what it is, you can create your own sales order, opportunities, activities, and all this in CRM, in Outlook, without going to SAP. So let's say, as long as the server is up somewhere in the world, I'm in Atlanta, the headquarters are in Denmark, so I can actually connect to that SAP data without going into VPN and all this stuff. I don't have the client installed. You do not have to have a client installed. Okay, you can see your KPIs, you can create your own business partner leads, whatever you would like. We have our own authorization system on the portal when you have CRM, so you can tell it who should have which permission. And it's real time. If I put in a sales order in Outlook, it shows up in SAP right away. Vice versa. If you are in the office and you put in a sales order and I pull up the business partner in Outlook, I can see that. Okay? That really drives sales. You are on the road, you're in a hotel, you go into Outlook and you have your business partner data right there. Okay, so I have a folder here. Of course, yours would be the input folder, but I just have sample emails right here for you. So you see right here, you have two banners. You have the business partner information. I see how much they owe me. You can go straight from here to Google Map. If you click on it, you can make phone calls from here, from your apps. Here it tells me sales year to date, sales month to date, the total documents this customer has. Here is the top 5 items sold for the year. It goes up to 5. If I switch to a different email, the business partner switches because it recognizes the emails, their contacts from the business partner. Okay, so here of course top 3 items, it goes up to 5 different KPIs. Okay, this one is in a negative. You can send emails from here. You can track emails, meaning sticky notes. Okay, I got to go back to these emails. I'm going to delete it. I was already tracked. And then you can go in here and you can check the trackings for this business partner. I'm going to track it again. So it's going to go to 4. Or if, let's say, Dan goes in there, I said, Rosi, you have some trackings, and I'm going to say, please check this out, those trackings, because we need to go back because of whatever issue. And you see, those are sticky notes. I call them sticky note. And what it is, it copies the email into your trackings. And once you're done, you delete it. You can create activities, service call, opportunities, quotation orders straight from here. You can put in a brand new sales order from here, and as I said, it flows back into SAP Business One. It's real time. It was fully redesigned. Here's your business partner. Here are your items. You put in your delivery, due date, just like you would in SAP Business One. You click Save and Close, and this shows up in SAP Business One. You do not have to have the client running. It's real time. It goes back and forth. Okay? What if you do not have you can see all the open items here. Those are all the open items for this business partner. So you can go, I just added the other one. It's loading. Those are all the open items, and the one I just did, I don't know, it's not loaded yet. There we go. Everything is slow in my system. So I just put in this sales order. If I go here, they have a bunch, and this is when you use our tool, Mass Updates, and you see this is the one I just put in there, and it shows up. If I would go, I have the client open, don't get confused, you don't have to have the client open, but I just want you to show how it is real time. If I open up and go to my last sales order, you will see it's right here. That's the one I just put in with that item. Okay, so it's real time. What if I get an email from somebody? Of course, that's going to happen. And maybe they are not a contact to a business partner. Oh, she's too. Nothing would come up, but then you can add it to the business partner. You can set up attachments, meaning if you get an email from a customer with an attachment and you create an activity, for example, it told me I already have an activity for this email, but I only have so many emails. It attaches the attachment. You can link documents. You can create meetings in Outlook. So I'm doing this activity, create the meeting in Outlook, and you can invite people. So you really manage your SAP, your customer relations. You can manage it from here. I'm going to do something with Natalie. I thought I did that earlier. I'm going to take her email out. I want you to see what it looks like. You can, let's say you are in you want to look up a different customer. You can go in here and just do a search. And this is a supplier, and then you have the contacts here, you have the open items for this supplier, the trackings, and then you can, you have the information for this customer here. You can add new business partner, absolutely. Okay, I have 2 databases connected, okay? So it's going to ask me, because I have 2 connected, on which database you want to create the business partner. How cool is that? Okay? And I can create a new business partner and it absolutely flows back into SAP. I can add contacts and then I can say, okay, I want to add a contact from Outlook. I have an Outlook contacts and I want to add contacts from here. So as I said, you can cover everything here, sales related pretty much. Okay. So let me see if she still has a contact. There we go. See, Natalia, I deleted the email, so for you to see, she's not attached to a business partner. So she can say it's not, or I say she's an SAP connection. And let me put it to this one. I think it's a customer, and I click OK. And the beauty is, if somebody sends you an email and said, hey, I'm Rosie, I'm the new controller for this company, you just click up there and add me to the business partner, and then you can get back with me and say, okay, Rosie, you owe us this much money. I know you're new to the company, but this is what you owe us, 1,000 euros. Those are, you have 2 sales opportunities. I don't know why they owe us. No, but you have everything right here, and you can reply to the email with all that information. Okay? You guys haven't bought much from us this year, this month nothing, and so on. So this is all business partner related. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. If you have the usability package, also you do not have it, you can attach SQL reports created with the usability package right here. Like, these are the last 10 items for this customer. You see, I don't use this customer much. Okay? And of course, if I switch to a different customer, the report looks different. So you can do those SQL reports also from the usability package, use it here. So this is all business partner related, but then I have my data, me as the sales employee. Okay, those are my sales opportunities. Those are my open sales quotation. So those are different business partners. You see Maschine Corporation, Werner Richter, Microchip. This is me related. What's the beauty is a sales employee can go in here, user, and say, okay, those are my all overdue opportunities. Or what do I have upcoming? I have an activity upcoming. That's the one we probably created. Yeah, remember the one we created with printed delivery? It shows up. This is my activity I have upcoming. This is my sales year to date. In my case, it's purchasing data shows too. This is my sales year to date, my sales month to date. And I can have my own reports. Let's say I'm a manager. I want to have a list of my customers and all their balances. Here it is. There's a list of customers and their balances. So you can do, this is my data, this is business partner data. Okay, and then of course I can create documents from here. Okay, that's a CRM for Outlook, wonderful tool. If you use it, it's really something I would definitely get, because if you're home, you don't have to go into the system. You have everything at your fingertips. if you would like to download those products for a free trial, you're more than welcome to do so. Dan's team can help you with that. We do give our products for 20 days free trial. Try it out. You will love them. Like I said, it will change your everyday tasks with the B1 Usability Package, Print and Delivery, CRM for Outlook. Thank you, everybody, for joining today.
Great, thanks, Rosie. So I think that wraps it up for the presentation. Like I said, for anyone interested in finding out more, you can get in touch with your account manager or send an email to info@milnerbrowne.com. Or if you'd like to set up a one-to-one demo, let us know and we can arrange that with Boyum as well. Thanks, Rosie, for your presentation, and thanks to all of our attendees who joined us today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you on the next webinar.